Yo, let's go live. Go.
Have you
Warm
ever-
up, Julio.
5, 4, 3. Bombolero ley.
Yes. Yo, are we recording?
We got him.
Like
We
you.
got Haha, yes.
No, you didn't.
Here we are, live and direct at Mucho Ruido Academy. What's going on, my brother JM? In the place to be, we got the man,
Markem.
Markem. Markem good.
How are you guys?
How are you, man?
Good, man. Good to see you. It's been a long time.
I know,
DJ
a lot.
extraordinaire,
Thanks for having me.
promoter. Oh, no, thank you.
So
man.
we start every week with our handles.
Yes.
You can find me at the Nightlife Entrepreneur on Instagram.
You can find me at Ico Taps Beer and at Doral Food and Wine Festival.
Markem Music.
Markem Music on Instagram, and also you can find LMG Miami
Yeah.
on Instagram as well.
Yes, yes, yes.
Remember, on YouTube, iTunes,
Yeah,
Podomatic,
show us love.
Spotify, Google Play, dude, Facebook,
Everywhere.
on your refrigerator, wherever
Show us
you go.
love. Show us love.
Show us some love.
Show us
Nightlife
like our
Entrepreneurs.
stuff, like us, share it.
All right, so this week, man, we're gonna, it looks a little different. We're not at a bar, although we do have our drinks.
Of course, Cusqueña
And-
can never
Cusqueña,
miss
huh?
Yes.
Yeah.
place, you know what I mean? Which,
Um,
now we're going to have at the studio, so
Exactly,
everybody's
exactly.
here recording. in
Mucho
a
Ruido
very-
Academy.
Mucho Ruido
We gotta be
Academy.
thankful for them here. These
Yes.
guys teach DJing
teaches-
and
he
they
teaches-
teach.
Music production
Music
as well.
They teach music production, they
And
teach
DJ.
you how to DJ,
Correct.
and Julio teaches you how to party.
There you go.
You have
Yo,
the,
dude.
whole,
There you go.
the whole package.
We need some tap dancing on this
Perfect.
thing.
Yeah, well, I'll show you how to tap dance home after the party.
So, Markem, for you guys that
Yeah.
don't know, this guy is a DJ and producer.
Correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Woohoo! We've known ourselves for a while. I'd say from the beginning. Although I'd let you tell a little bit more about
man.
that. How did you get into the industry?
Well, I started as I don't think that many people could say this, but underage partying.
Well,
Right.
the man right here started that way, so that's
So,
good. So you started as a promoter?
I actually
Or just-
started going to party, and then I met a few people in the party, and they were like, "Would you like to help me bring some people to the party?" They were already promoters at that time, but I was only like 16 years old, to be honest. So
It's so funny, right? It's kind of like they all have that
I
same...
didn't give them that job. By the
So
way.
there's definitely a scouting process. I've noticed everyone's had that same kind of beginning. Oh, I was going at this party. They kind of identify that they have people around them, right? You must
Right.
have had like pretty girls around you, and you just knew people. And then that
I
person.
don't
Do you
even
remember
know.
who was the
I
person
don't
that
even
came
know
to you?
how that happened because
Okay.
I was in high school still. So.
Okay, but do you remember the person who came up to you and said, "Hey, you want to help us with these parties?"
It was
bet
more
he does.
like, Mamel, you remember Mamel?
Yeah,
Luis,
yeah.
Luis Sanchez.
Okay,
Uh,
shout outs to those guys.
He was the brother of a friend of mine, so he was the one that used to take me to the clubs.
Nice.
But
Get you in for free, no ID.
nothing.
Nice. With a man chilling
Yeah,
at the
so-
party.
But it was more than meeting people that I knew that people because I was in high school. So who could I take to the clubs? You know?
Yeah, your teacher.
Yeah.
Your guidance counselor.
So it was more.
Mine went to the parties
Yeah.
for sure.
At those times, it was more like when we used to promote with flyers,
Yeah.
cards.
Good old days.
Yeah, so go to the other clubs and put flyers on the
Yeah,
cards
yeah.
and stuff like that. So that's
Which-
how it started.
Which people still do, right?
By the way, I was just going to mention that
Yeah.
a lot of people don't do that.
They
We
don't
still
do
do that. And we're trying to keep the old school part alive.
Yeah, I think it
Listen,
works
I
a
think
lot.
it still works. Like,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you're going to get into your car, you see a flyer, you look at it. If it interests you, you keep it. If it doesn't, you flip it.
If
and
people say
somebody
that
else-
negative promotion is good promotion, then any kind of promotion is good promotion.
promotion.
Yeah,
For sure.
Correct. So the place that I actually started was La Covacha. I don't know if you heard about it.
Oh, yeah. Of course.
Out of 12 episodes, I think La Covacha's been mentioned
No,
in
dude,
at least 3 or 4.
Hey,
And
when they
Aurelio and
when they
everybody
reopen, they need to sponsor our podcast, man, because I'm
Right.
telling you, they're getting shout outs every
Yeah.
week.
Another shout out to Aurelio and a shout
Aurelio.
out to Alejandro, who we were talking about before
Yeah,
we
shout outs
started
to those
recording.
guys. They were amazing. I
Yeah,
love
so
them.
actually, I never like got in the beginning like this type of connection with Alejandro or Aurelio that I really have now. But at the beginning, I was a kid.
Yeah, of course.
So they were like, oh, who's this kid? You know, like, what is he doing here?
Yeah, I know. What's this underage kid doing here who could like close us down?
You know.
By the way, what we used to call this guy back then was Marquito.
Oh yeah, they called him Marquito.
A lot of people still call me like that.
Marquito?
Marquito, yeah.
Oh, Marquito. Okay, it sounds better in Spanish. Marquito.
I meant it.
Because
Marquito.
Marquito.
Meaning little Mark. Just kidding.
So Marquito,
Yeah.
you know who these guys, Aurelio, they saw you, they were like, hey, who's this little Marquito guy?
So then I started working for them. Like I used to promote with Gerardo as well. A lot of times, a lot of parties, because there were like
Shout out to Gerardo,
team of
one
promoters.
of our right-hand guys.
Team of promoters and stuff. And it came a time where I was in the club like every Friday, and La Covacha was a Latin party, 100% Latin party. And I was bored of the. It's not that I was bored of the music. The thing is that it's not like nowadays that reggaeton. You have a new track every week.
Right?
You have a new track, and they
That's
play the
crazy.
track, and it was the same music
every Friday.
every Friday. I knew the mixes from the DJ.
Oh,
Like
you already had it memorized.
Yeah.
You're like, okay, this song is coming.
exactly, because there was a lot of music from the past that the merengue, salsa, Spanish rock, and all of that. That there were the party anthems for every Friday.
Yeah, you're saying that, and they just come to mind right
Like
now.
at 1:30, Musical Ligera is coming. You know?
Oh,
Or stuff like that. So at that time, I used to have a lot of music in my computer, but I was not a DJ, and I started to, since I was working, I was bored, and I was a kid still. So
You were still
You're still 16, 17, or is,
I was 17.
when is a good age to start DJing? By the way, just now that you're touching on
No,
that.
you can learn at any time nowadays. But for me, more than DJ nowadays is the production part that is the most important. Because with technology now, everyone could be a DJ. I could teach you how to DJ really quick. But more the production part is the most important part of the
So
moment.
now that we're here at the Mucho Ruido Academy, so what they show you is, because what you just said, it's funny. What you just said is kind of interesting because of technology. Nowadays, people feel that they could be a DJ, they could be a videographer, a photographer, and that's not the case.
No.
There's a lot of like technical things that
Everyone
need to
could
learn.
have a camera, but it's not the
Exactly.
same picture that they're gonna get.
Exactly.
At the end.
It's like you have to respect the fact that there is a kind of like a guideline. That's why we have the book, right? So
Right.
that book gives you a guideline and gives you certain steps,
Right.
and feeds you a couple of tools that help you. So, and I just wanted to clarify that because,
Right.
I just don't
Get the
want
book
people
on
to
Amazon.
think.
Amazon.
Yeah.
Book on
I
Amazon.
don't want people to think that they could just like, buy the equipment and then become a DJ out of nowhere, because you need to learn.
There's many ways of learning nowadays. Like you could go online and watch 10 YouTube videos, and I'm sure that you're gonna know a lot about DJing.
Okay.
But at that time, it was the CD era.
Got
so we were digital, but not that much,
Yeah.
But nowadays, every equipment tells you what BPM the track is going, or so it's
Unless you were
simple,
DJ Willie, who was using LPs.
Could you
Exactly.
define BPM, just for those who don't know what that meant?
The
Beats per minute.
Okay.
beats per minute,
Okay,
correct.
cool. So now you know. Let me ask you this. So are you saying that back then, even though the CD era was already kind of like in effect, there were also DJs that were using vinyls?
Yeah, for sure.
There were.
Yeah,
Were
because
those DJs kind of more respected or more looked at as like, oh man, you guys are old.
no,
CDs
no.
is the way to go.
No,
There was a mix of that,
Yeah.
I think. I mean, because some were respected, but if you were like, a music lover, you know what I mean? Like you really enjoyed the good music, etc., and the art of the DJing. I'm pretty sure you were like awed by it.
Well,
Yeah.
today, nowadays, and shout outs to DJ Safe Static, he's respected because of his vinyl collection.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. So nowadays, I think it's even more kind of like
At the beginning,
looked at as a DJ as like, wow, you have all those.
I
vinyls.
always started as a electronic music DJ.
Okay.
So the internet was there, but it was not as much as we have it now. Like now, every DJ could have the same 10 tracks and they could play the same 10 tracks. But before, when the CD or vinyl era was, you used to go to stores to get those tracks, and whoever had the best collection had this type of, the best style than other DJs. But nowadays you have stores like Beatport, stuff like that, where everything is there.
That's interesting, right? Because I think wasn't it part of the whole DJing thing? Wasn't that a little bit of the fun part of it, of like you being able to have something that other
no one else
people
have.
could, or the way that you could find it? Because when it comes to vinyls, that was one of the top, DJ, I guess, secrets and kind of, like, man, I've been looking for that.
Now they
album
happens,
forever.
but different.
And you everybody had that like store where you could have
So
it. So
what-
now you could
what's
do that,
the new
but
vinyl?
digitally.
No, now
Yeah.
they happens because everyone is a music producer. So
Okay.
you have like 150,000 tracks per week.
Just
that
like
you have to
everybody
listen.
calls
That's
themselves a
crazy.
promoter.
Exactly. So,
Exactly. So you see, I'm telling you, technology is
but it's a cycle,
it's a
know.
cycle.
So now you have all these tracks, and you have a lot of tracks that really suck.
So is
But
it now like more just you just need more time?
you need time to
To
see what
listen.
you like or not.
Okay.
Or if you're a mainstream DJ, a lot of these DJs always play the same, the top 40 house music tracks. But there's
I was gonna
different
say,
genres.
another thing, like you were mentioning how you can start early and you could go on YouTube and find different videos on teaching you how to mix or whatever it is that you need to do. But in the end, the one thing that cannot be taught, which is one of the things I remember from you from the beginning, is taste.
Yeah.
Music, taste.
Is the style?
Knowing,
is it a
knowing
style?
how, like for example, there's DJs like our DJ Willie, who like we know, this guy's been with us for 20 something years.
Wow.
And we know he knows exactly how to keep the people dancing, and he knows when he needs to have them sit down to go spend money, go to the bar.
Oh, wow.
Like it's a whole process in that sense. That's when you're a nightclub DJ. Now when it comes to
Producing.
DJ. There's a lot more to it in the taste part, because you have to understand not only what people like and what people want, but also
For the
be able to make something new that's gonna be liked and,
and people ain't gonna forget. People are gonna say, "Wow,
Yeah.
that DJ,"
Right.
So does it happen where it's like, "Wow, that DJ was great, man. He made me go to the bar. He made me go to the. He knew
people
how to
won't
like
say that, but you'll
maneuver."
hear that in the back
yeah.
meetings with management and
Manager say,
ownership.
"Hey, that DJ was
you
great.
know?
He
No,
knew
or,
how to."
or sometimes I went to parties or festivals when they say, "Oh, when this guy played the slot that he played, we saw the most."
Oh wow,
or something
sure.
like that, because depending on the music that you play, people,
And that guy will get hired
By
again.
the way,
Yeah,
see, and because I saw we went really hard on the whole DJ. I don't want to lose like where you were going with
The beginning.
DJ. Yeah. So
Okay.
you started. Marquito was the DJ.
Slash.
You had
No,
Slash.
you had the computer.
No, I had the computer at home. Then, since I was bored at the party, honestly,
Hey,
There we go.
By the way, when you started promoting and then DJing.
correct.
You started promoting.
So you were not, because there was a lot of
Yeah,
DJ
yeah, yeah.
slash promoter back
No,
then.
no.
As a matter of fact, that we used to hire a lot of that because
Yeah,
we were
yeah.
like, okay, you're a DJ. All right,
many
that means
people
you
can
charge
you bring?
$200, $250. What is it? Okay, now, how many people can you bring? that was how we measured. Okay,
how
that's
much
that
you
many
measured?
people
What you
times-
could pay him?
Yeah, we were like, okay, so you can bring
Because
30
usually
people,
what,
30
it's like
people
what,
at
$10
$10 a
a head?
person. That,
People
yeah,
that are really passionate about music hate that.
exactly.
Yeah, right. No, I could
True,
imagine.
true, true.
That's awesome.
Because
Get the truth.
even you are a DJ and you know what you're doing, like he said about
Exactly.
Willie.
Yeah.
Because
Right.
I'm sure that you don't care if Willie brings 5 people to the club or 100.
Of course.
But you know he's gonna maintain those 500 that you brought in the
He's gonna have that following.
Yes, 100%.
Now, as a young promoter, how much were you making? How much does a promoter make?
At that time, we were getting like $3 or $5 per flyer or something like that.
Per person.
Yeah.
Per person that
Well,
walked
it was flyer then, because back then you used to use the flyer for people to show it at the door,
Claro.
kind of like a VIP thing.
Yes.
So
It was a flyer for every party.
Okay.
So
Well,
you used to give
you were
some
doing
of these
that.
party. That was their.
You were doing
so
that.
you have an idea how inflation has been. We just raised our promoters like a month ago from 5 to 7.
So
and we're talking about how many
So you're
years.
giving them.
Yeah,
So you're
yeah,
giving them
it
$7 for every head that walks in.
Right, and we have different types of deals
Yeah.
depending on the person. Some people
Yeah,
get
but
paid for
before,
women.
how much was
Okay.
an entrance? Like $10 or
Yeah,
less?
cover was
Yeah.
$10.
Now
Nowadays,
it's like 20.
it
20,
depends.
25,
It's
right?
20, but most people don't pay anyway.
Exactly.
That's
You know,
also
I mean,
true.
we used to have $10,000 doors when I was like 18 years old. Back in Yahe and Key Biscayne. And nowadays, you don't see those cover doors anymore. People want to get in free. People,
And they just spend. At the end of the day,
There
you
will
get
be
them
more
at the
spend.
bar.
Oh, the money is made,
Of course.
for sure. And this is, we're talking about Miami. It could be completely different in any city.
Wichita.
You know, Wichita is different for sure.
Yeah.
New York's
Imagine.
different. You know, in
Shout outs
England,
to
South
Wichita.
America.
We love you. Keep listening to us.
We have a lot of love from Wichita, so we gotta love them back.
This is for you.
Okay.
Yo, I know we got to shout out our fans. Hey, so we should have you. We should try to figure out how we do a party over there. And we
By the way, a
bring you
shout out to
DJ.
Carlos Contento, who's been handing flyers out on the streets
Look at that.
for a long time.
Hey, but for
And
real, we could
he-
probably take him. We'll do a Latin
You know, he
party.
told me I was walking down the street and he
DJ
tells me he's
Markem.
listening to the podcast on his
Oh, yeah?
earplugs when he's
Nice.
passing out the flyers.
Shout
So
outs to you,
him.
man. Keep sending those flyers.
All right,
out,
so
man.
you don't like the DJ slash promoter thing, and
Yeah.
I know for a fact that 99.9 of the
Nice.
DJs don't like it either, because that's in the
Yeah.
end what they want to be is more of a
DJ.
a DJ.
Yeah.
You know, if you're going in that direction, that's what you want.
The problem is that some people, like my mother, used to think that, oh, you're a DJ, so you're just laying down, downloading music, then you go party, and
And
that's
getting
it.
laid.
And you get
That's
paid.
it.
But
Did you
nowadays,
say late?
paid and late, both.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure your mom was happy about both.
So nowadays, when you see a DJ profile, they have to be promoters, DJs, producers, flyer designers.
This is what a DJ profile should look like.
Not
or
the
no?
profile, but this is what you're supposed to do if you don't have
Okay.
the money to hire someone else to do all this
Got
stuff.
it. Got it.
Right.
You have to create content for Instagram, YouTube,
I know, man. I'm telling you,
Facebook.
So it's a full-time job.
It's a full-time
Yeah.
job. So it's
Wow.
not like they used to say, oh, you just go in there, getting drunk, and then you
Well,
go home.
Right.
maybe
And
before,
it was like a 4-hour
maybe
job,
Before
you
it
know.
was, maybe before back in the days, the DJs. Well, the DJs I knew back in the days, they would just rehearse their set. You would hear them doing their thing. Boom, boom, boom. They go out. They DJ, and they would,
In a way, it was easy money.
Yeah, it was. It was.
yeah.
Well, like I said, there's good DJs. I would consider those good DJs those that used to wake up and kind of rehearse their set, and maybe they would rehearse kind of that strategy of like, you know what, here I'll keep them a good 45 minutes dancing, and then I'll kind of tone it down so they could go get drinks because
Yeah.
they're
Right.
thirsty of all this great music I played for them.
Yes.
I'm assuming that's kind of like the strategy.
Yeah.
So awesome, man. So you were promoting. Then you felt the DJ thing more.
Yeah. No, I since I was bored, like I was saying, I started to go to the booth to see what the DJ was doing. At that time was DJ Johnny, the one that was playing at La Covacha. He's
You
a
were just-
really good DJ.
Yeah, and what you were just
Shout out to
Yeah.
¿Dónde están las mujeres?
Oh, real nice.
That's his phrase. He made that
I love
famous.
it. So you used to just get up on the
booth
with him and just
and
kind of
just kind of watch him.
watch him and
what he
observe
did.
what he was
He
doing.
used to mix from a salsa to a rock and roll track like this.
He was good. He would mix
Really,
it.
really good.
Hey,
Very good.
and he was your friend because DJs don't usually allow that, right?
He just saw me like another promoter from the club.
Okay, so
At
he
the
let
time.
you. He let
at
you
that
hang
time
out.
because we worked together like 8 years, and then the relationship changed. You know.
Okay.
But there was another DJ there that was Felipe Cabal, and he
Shout
was
outs.
the
Shout out
one.
to Pipe.
He was the one that
What was
actually.
Pipe's phrase?
Pepe's phrase. I don't think Pepe had a phrase. He was concentrated on his house music.
Just focus.
We always just kept on telling him,
Yeah.
we need Latin music. We need Latin
Yeah,
music.
nice.
He was actually the guy that taught me how to DJ.
Oh, okay.
Yes,
cool.
and the one that his father told me not to get in this business.
Shout out to the father. What's up? We're still here, baby.
My college counselor there.
Hey, now,
And great client, by the
now, now his niece is probably watching us, and he's probably just like, oh my God, what is this guy doing now?
He's awesome.
I
They're
told
awesome.
him, yeah, that's awesome. So shout outs to them. All right,
Yeah.
man, I like this story. You're telling us how it's like how you-
So
Progressing.
I just learned.
So now you're what, 16 and a half?
No, I was,
Yeah, I know, right?
I
Like-
was like 16, 17.
we
yeah.
still got 34 minutes to go. Right? Okay.
So there, I just learned because they never gave me the opportunity at first because obviously there was.
You were still
they,
Marquito, man.
Yeah,
In English, Marquito.
but then electronic music at that time was not as popular as now.
Okay.
So at that time, I was just focusing on that. That's what I liked.
Oh, that's what you like.
Yeah.
So you were kind of like ahead of your
I
time.
never played like a set of. Maybe one day that I had to because Felipe didn't go to the party or something like that, and I had to play like 2 or 3 tracks, but I never was able to play Latin music. Not because I couldn't, it's because it was.
That was
not my
it
It
thing.
wasn't in you. It
like,
wasn't your
okay.
thing.
Yeah.
So hold up. So and did you DJ at La Covacha?
Yeah. So then.
I could imagine the day he DJed. Everybody's like used to the whole Latin thing. And like, what is going on?
No, because they had. They had to.
No, I mean, there was an evolution
Yeah,
of
they
the
had
Guacha,
2
even
rooms.
everybody.
Okay.
And then
All
they
right.
used to make electronic music parties. And one day I was with Alejandro at this company that he used to have for flyers, Vita Graphics. We were there
Okay.
working, and he's like, "Do you want to play at this party?" I was like, "Okay, sure."
How old are you?
17.
Still 17. Wow.
Yeah.
All right.
And I was like, "Okay, what do we put on the flyer?" And I was like, "I have no idea." I wasn't thinking of
Yeah,
that.
you
You
were
know, I
like-
was like.
Let's put DJ Marquito in a place
No,
to
we
be.
put Markem because my last
Okay.
name is Martinez, so it was like that, and it stayed like that for
For a long
almost
while.
till almost 3 or 4 years ago that I changed to Markem
Okay.
because of
Better. Branding.
Google search branding.
Branding.
Stuff.
Hey, so let me ask you: was that the time? Was that the era where you slowly started transitioning from promoter to like, hey, now my name is on a flyer. I'm Mark M in a place to be. Don't. I'm not a promoter.
At that time, there was a DJ promoter.
Oh.
At that time,
Right.
Okay.
that's.
But
when
it was more like, at least I know for a fact that we were pushing. When I say we,
You kinda-
all of us in the
Yeah,
industry
you guys kind of like
who were hiring the DJs
started that.
were saying, all right, so we're gonna spend this money. There were so many guys that wanted to be the new DJ of all these
DJ
places.
promoter.
You know, yeah, like you have no idea how many people
For real?
tried to replace DJ Willie, for example, who's
Wow.
been with us for 20 something years. You know, Alejandro played with
Yeah,
us,
I
Mark
can
played
imagine.
with us.
Hey, La Moch,
Federico
La Moch,
played with
right?
us.
There was La Moch.
La
was
Moch played with us.
almost
This
like
guy
watch,
has
I remember.
one hand.
Yeah, he
you know,
was
it's
bad. He was
amazing
good.
with
He was
one
very
hand.
good. He was bad.
JJ Jefferson, who
Shout out to
owns
all
the
the
studio.
DJs.
You know, like you have no idea how many
And
people
good
have played with
DJs,
us.
man,
Great
good
DJs that have played internationally.
And then
As a
what
matter
was
of fact,
happening, Julio?
this guy-
There were promoters that were coming to you and kind of saying like they were trying to sell you on a 2-for-1 deal. Like, hey, dude, I'm a promoter and a
That's-
DJ, and I'll clean the bathroom after the night. Hire me.
There's
Was
a
it
couple
like
of
that?
those. There's a couple of those.
Okay.
You know, and needless to say, the bathroom's still dirty. But but the reality is that, you know, after we grew, because we were also growing at the time,
Of course.
you know, and understanding how it works and how it should be,
Yeah.
as he mentioned, we don't ask that of Willie, who we know is going to keep the room the way it
course.
should be. With this guy, I remember my partner, Gustavo, saying a few times, you know, Kia, shout out to him. This
Shout
guy's
outs.
taste, man. I love this guy's taste in music.
So you
And then-
identified that. Like,
yeah,
he
I was
just
against
had
it
a
at the
different-
beginning because, you know,
He was doing
I was
house?
not the house music
Got it.
lover,
Oh, wow.
which actually now things have changed.
Yeah.
And I'm more into it nowadays.
Of course.
Although it's
Time
not
to do
as
that to you.
yeah, exactly. But this guy's, you know,
Yeah,
taste
his
in music
style
was
was
great. As was Felipe's
Yeah.
also. You know, Felipe DJ Cabal, who you know, was his mentor, I guess.
And that was the thing at that time that
Nice.
there was a lot of DJs
Mm-hmm.
and they all were really good at what they were doing.
At the same time, there
yeah.
was
But nowadays I see.
What year are we talking about now?
We're talking 2004,
2004 to the, oh man.
Bro, I can tell you, the DJs that we had playing at the clubs at that time, all ended up playing for thousands of people at some point in big tours.
Yeah, I did.
How many people have you played for? Like your biggest stage?
Biggest festival,
Biggest
10,000
crowd.
to 15,000 people.
15,000 people rocking to your music.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Woohoo.
We did. I started La Covacha, then I did Yahe with the guys.
Okay.
I was in a residency, and from there I went to Space.
Wow. You jumped.
Which in Miami is a huge name, and it is the name, the place to be.
Of course.
With that type of music.
So what time? Like, what, did you do the whole like 24-hour shift? Like
No,
until 11 a.m. or?
I did long sets, but
Okay.
not as long as that.
And it was also house music. It was
Only
house
house music.
house music all night long. Love it.
Yeah.
Hey, so from that moment where your name was on the flyer, was that okay? After DJ promoter, when is it that you took that step to say, hey, listen, I'm gonna focus on being a DJ, and I'm assuming not only a DJ but a producer.
From when it started, I never stopped. It was like they already told me that I was a DJ, so I have to go and go.
And go.
So yeah, I started playing, and it was I was lucky because I was a little kid for a lot of them, for a lot of DJs. So a lot of people helped me a lot. Like
That's
Alejandro as a DJ helped me a lot. Felipe too. So a lot of people. It was hard because at the
Which,
beginning.
by the way, both of them were DJ/promoters.
Yeah, correct.
You know, they both did it too.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we all help each other, but at the beginning it was hard because some people was like, oh, he's too young or whatever. But I think I always had that talent that they will like to see, you know.
Hey, so Julio mentioned, when is it the right age to come in as a DJ? And you kind of said, like, listen, any age, right? Could you for those listeners and viewers, could you kind of break down and give us what is the feeling of a DJ when you're up there and you're watching the crowd, like 15,000 people dancing to your, could you like,
It's the most amazing feeling.
Yeah,
I think that
for that kid who's like, should I become a DJ?
every DJ pushes for that, you know, because it's the final feeling that you want to receive, that energy of the crowd. But after that, the most amazing feeling is when you make a track that a lot of people know and you play it and you see the reaction, or if they know the lyrics of that track, that's
That you
the best
created,
feeling.
that you
Exactly.
produced.
Let's say you create something here and then you go and play it for 15,000 people and you put the volume down and people scream the lyrics of the track. It's like,
Forget about it. You're like
Yeah.
in heaven. You're in house music heaven at that point.
correct.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
But
that's
the
why
age doesn't matter, because nowadays I seen DJs like, for example, there's like a kid in Spain that is like 11 or 12 and he plays really good. And a lot of the superstar DJs like Avicii, who just passed away, or Martin Garrix, they became famous like at 17 or 18 because
Wow.
of one
One
really,
track. Yeah,
really
yeah,
amazing
Really,
track.
really good track.
Yeah.
Wow, that's awesome, man. So okay, so now you're a DJ, you're killing it. Now you're
No
looking at,
promoter
how are you
anymore.
looking at the promoter? Like, hey man, I'm not a promoter.
No,
anymore.
actually, that's something that I don't regret, because nowadays most people don't know what they're doing,
Okay.
honestly, and they just are, music players or whatever. But nowadays, like, I like to do my parties. Like here in Miami, I don't have a residency because
Okay.
I think I
Tell us
play-
about where you're going and what you're doing.
I
and-
play almost every club in Miami. So
Okay.
for me, being a resident in a club is not what I'm looking for.
What are you looking for? Tell us.
I'm producing music.
Producing.
And what-
Grammy, like award winning.
That's my goal.
That's your goal. You're gonna win a Grammy.
Correct.
Yo, we're here with future Grammy award winner
Exactly.
Markem.
That's
Oh, it'll happen. It'll happen.
and a boy head over there. is also
Hey,
another one.
What are
Grammy.
the best
22
and worst
shows.
moments that you can remember in the industry?
Yeah, being a DJ or being a promoter.
In general, in the industry, I mean, either way, and I'm hoping
yeah.
it's not as a promoter.
Exactly.
the best moments always are like when I used to go and play outside the States. Like the first time I was 18, that George Sanchez took me to Colombia.
Medellin, maybe.
It was in Medellin, actually.
To Medellin.
Uh,
And he took you? George Sanchez was a promoter or DJ?
George Sanchez is an event producer, amazing event producer who does festivals.
Nice.
Yeah. So my first gig outside Miami was in Medellin, opening for Ed Murillo. I don't know if you're from New York, you know him.
Yeah.
And
Cartagena,
they were like, no, you're playing at this convention center, blah blah blah. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. I went with Felipe actually, and we were the ones to open the show for him. So
Big DJ.
So when I'm here
How
playing
many
in Miami,
Sorry.
wait for the so
For
you
the
know,
bang.
yeah.
Sorry.
So when we play here in Miami and you're opening for a DJ, you're like, okay, you're opening, you're playing softer, that do you actually play, or I didn't even know the venue, I don't know where we were going. So then we get to this convention center, we go to the parking lot, right? And then we started walking like this big hallway, and I started hearing like, and I couldn't see nothing because everything was covered. And then we get to the backstage, and they're like, okay, in 5 minutes, you guys get on. So I'm like, okay.
Hey,
So yeah,
and I'm sorry, you guys don't need
yeah.
right?
We had at that time we had
Laptops?
suitcase with CDs.
Okay, oh, okay.
So I started going to the backstage. Then I go from the stairs to the DJ booth, and I still didn't see the crowd. When I go like this, you see like a sea of people. It was like 10,000 that day.
Wow.
The first time I played for that.
You got
kind
nervous,
of,
right?
Ooh, I'm always nervous.
You're always nervous, I love it.
Always.
Yeah,
always.
of course.
Hey, people fuck up, man.
Yeah, no, it's not because of that. It's like a race that you get before
Of
the
course,
show.
you see 10,000 people in front of you,
Yeah.
kind of moving.
No, but I
Hey,
almost
if you don't
fainted.
feel that, it's
Let
wrong,
me ask you
right?
something. What happens if you, all right, you have 10,000 people in front of you.
That
you,
time I
you
almost
put on-
fainted.
You almost fainted. You put on your headphones, right? You put on the headphones. You throw on the first CD. What happens if those 10,000 people stop doing what they're doing
Or boo.
because of your CD?
You know that there is another story because people is not gonna leave because of that.
Okay,
You know, at
but
one
could
event.
that happen? Could it happen?
There is a story. I was one time with David Guetta in Colombia, actually.
Wow, you with him?
and,
David Guetta?
and he wanted to go to a salsa place.
You guys are now friends, actually.
Yeah, he wanted to go to a salsa place, and we were like, okay. We took him in Cali to Juanchito. There's a place where the salsa
El
place.
puente para allá.
Uh-huh. So he was in the club, and you know that
Shout out to salsa.
the salsa club, the DJ plays one track, but it's not like here in Miami that they mix it into the other one.
Yeah.
The song ends.
Yeah.
So he was there watching the crowd, and you know there was this track. Everyone went to dance, and then the track is over, and everyone left. And he was like, "What the fuck just happened? The dance floor is empty," you know.
Yeah.
And that happens in that type of.
Yeah, of course.
But in our music, you need to be really bad for people
To stop.
to stop or leave.
But it could happen.
It happens. It happens. People wait for the other DJ sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Because that must be a scary feeling, right? Imagine having 10,000 people in front of you. You start DJing, and then you start kind of seeing them go away. You're like, oh no.
Sometimes they don't go away. Sometimes they're feeling it because this happens to me that there's a lot of people, but you don't see them like, "Rah," but
Okay.
they're having a good time.
And
Anyway.
that's what matters. Is there a time where there's a connection, eye connection with anyone, or is it just you're feeling it, you're in your own zone, they're in their zone, and everybody's just in their zone?
Eye connection not, but it depends on the
Venue?
what we call the drop of a track or a breakdown of a song that they know, that you see if they're singing, they're chanting,
Cool.
or something like that, or they're jumping, because
Awesome.
every crowd is different.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool.
You
You
mentioned
know what's
that you're
good?
walking in.
You know what I love? You saw his eyes. He's ready to like.
I want to drop.
Listen to it.
You know, I
Yeah,
want
he
to
wants to do. He wants to do a drop.
drop a bass.
He's like, yo, you got him all into it. He's like, yo, play that beat, play that beat.
What's happening? Tell me.
Yeah.
All right, so I don't. You mentioned your best, but you didn't mention your
looks
worst.
really excited.
My worst. Wow. The worst is in one of these big shows. I used to play with computers once,
Oh.
and the DJ that I was close in the party, that was the main DJ of the that party was like, okay, 5 minutes to go. So that I start setting up, and my computer wasn't doing anything.
It was not turning on.
And
you had your music in your computer
and
stored?
I couldn't tell him,
my
okay,
God.
play 2 more. He was like, I'm leaving, and that's it.
I'm out.
So
At that point, when you
30
get on
seconds.
You have no singing skills?
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, what do you do at that point? You start singing, "Hey,
Dance.
everybody, come to the beat."
Because at that time with the computer, I had everything, what I was going to play, everything perfect, and obviously I have like CDs and stuff that I could use, but it was not going to be the same. So I was like, what? But 30 seconds before he was going to
30
end,
seconds.
the computer turned on.
That was Jesus. That was house music.
That's
Jesus.
why you know Jesus
That get
loves
on.
music. House music specifically.
Hey, if what would happen if it doesn't turn on? Like, do you use your phone ringer thing? Like, what do you do if it wouldn't have turned on? At that point, is it as you as the DJ? Are you responsible? Like, what happens?
No, at that time maybe another DJ could take on from me, and then I had to figure something out.
Okay.
But,
And that brings me to a question I had in mind, I remember back then, you guys would show up with your own equipment. I remember there was always an issue with, I don't want this guy using mine, or lending each other's
equipment thing is such a problem.
and all those things. Nowadays, what,
Who has the equipment?
at your level, what do you bring when you're going to play somewhere?
USB.
Yeah, he's like
Okay.
this.
Yeah, I used
Wow.
to have many CD cases, but
Yeah,
a USB I
Hey,
have.
by the way, the same way that for like Latin music bands, that's me being Colombian, let's say Vallenato band
Vallenato.
arrives to a place and they come and they're like 12 musicians and they got 12 friends that are carrying their shit.
Yeah.
DJs back then used to arrive with a group
Like-
of people carrying their shit too. I remember.
100 CDs. And
Like 3 friends, they're coming with me with the
course.
2
And
And
cases.
for some reason,
Promoting, that's
those
what-
guys ended up being the DJs afterwards.
Yeah,
I don't know,
exactly,
It
yeah.
was
Wing-
one of those.
wing-
And they were
Wing
underage
DJs.
sometimes.
Oh yes.
And they were. And
That I
are they
do not
DJs
remember.
now? Are they DJs now? I'm assuming it was kind of like they're learning. Everybody's.
I have some.
How to carry the? No, it has.
So the question was.
Well, when I went to space for the
Who-
first time,
Mhm.
I carried the vinyls of Felipe or Lazario.
Or Alex.
for the
Okay, so the question was, who is it important to bring your own equipment, or do you need to?
No, like at the level that I am, I provide a rider and they have to
Have that equipment.
correct.
Nice.
And at the clubs they
So
have.
you're at
they
that
have-
level. You gotta get to that
No,
level.
but at the clubs they have this kind of equipment. It's type
Okay,
of.
so it's kind of like a standard equipment that. they
What
have.
is today's standard equipment?
Yeah.
Just to mention out there a little technical.
DJs out there who are starting.
Well,
what they need to learn with.
A lot of DJs use Pioneer.
Pioneer.
Yeah.
Okay.
2000s Nexus.
Okay.
It's the same for the DJ Mixer 2000 and the CDJs 2000.
And it's been the same for a while, no?
They changed the model because first it was CD, then it was CD and USB, then it
Okay,
keeps going. And
so
going.
from a promoter, you were making, let's say at that time, $3, $4 a head, blah blah blah. The flyer,
Five.
$5, $5.
3 to 5, yeah.
3 to 5. As far as compensation wise, is that what made you kind of also say, you know what, now I'm just gonna be a DJ because I'm making $500 a night
No,
versus
at the beginning I did it for the music because
For
it
the
was
love.
it was something that I was looking forward
no,
to.
you had to build your
And at
name,
the
right?
beginning, you probably make less DJing than
Yeah.
bringing people.
Ooh, yeah. I
And
used to
that's
play.
why that's why there's that DJ promoter kind of
Yeah, I used to play a lot of parties for free. Just
Okay.
because of
You wanted
the
to get your name
promoter
out there.
was like,
experience.
just play because people have to know, like that or whatever.
That was your hustle, okay.
You think? So you think people, new DJs that want to learn, they should be self-taught, go on YouTube, that kind of thing, or should they look for a mentor and find somebody who
Yeah.
teaches them
It depends on how quick you can learn. Because, for example, I didn't have that tool to go to YouTube and see, and Felipe taught me how to mix with vinyls and then with CDs. And at that time, it was not. We had technology, but it was not that easy as it is now. But I think if you're patient and you know how to do it,
Mm-hmm.
but there's people that like the hands-on things more than anything, so that's why academies like this are helpful
Great.
for it. For example, I did an online course on production on Point Blank School that is in England, and I learned a lot in 3 months. It's expensive sometimes, but it helps you a lot.
It helps you as a DJ in what sense? Like technically, how to
Technically, cause
produce,
they, cause,
or
cause
how to set up?
Taste
or-
can be taught.
yeah, taste can be taught.
Okay.
Or if it's like dancing,
Mhm.
if you don't have the moves,
Yeah.
you're not gonna learn.
Of course. Yeah, if you don't have that swag, then
Yeah,
it's not gonna
it's
happen.
not gonna happen.
Do you
Or
think
it
that
could
somebody
happen
that
with
can't
some-
dance can be a DJ?
I seen people that can
Yeah.
dance that are DJs.
No, there's actually a lot of good salsa dancers.
Lazardi's one of those.
Salsa
When he
singers
comes to
that
the
are
show,
nice.
yeah.
He can
We gotta
dance.
have him dancing. I don't know. We gotta see him.
We gotta see that. That's a good one. Hey, so and so as a DJ, okay, now you're a DJ. Now you're traveling. Do you work now with promoters? Are you? Is that something that you're still even entertaining, or no? I'm straight up the DJ. I work with promoters. Do promoters hire you? Do they call you? Explain that to me, just to see for those that are listening, if they're still, as a DJ, should you stay in touch with promoters because they're the ones kind of like still in the scene and still
No,
making that
you're always in touch with promoters.
with promoters,
The different thing is like
not bar owners or club.
both. It depends. It depends.
More
'cause
with promoters?
You end up meeting people. Cause
Okay.
For example, with the track "Strangers" that we did last summer, it was played in a lot of countries like Spain, Greece, and we went to play to those countries because the owner of some club liked the track and he wanted the DJ that made the
Got
track.
it.
So that's where the relationship starts, you
Awesome.
know. But in the industry nowadays, like with electronic music, there are many nightclubs, and there
Mhm.
it's not only like house music. There's techno, there's progressive house, trance. There's many
There's
genres.
many- Okay, yeah.
So there is clubs for each genre, or there are promoters for each DJ that plays some type of vibe.
what genre are you when it comes to
I always love house music. House.
just house, straight up hard?
Now we do more like tech Latin house.
Okay.
So
Tech
kinds
Latin
of-
house.
But
And-
I've done everything. Like
and is it recommended for house DJs because there's so many styles of music to get an agent? Do you guys work with agents
yeah. So
and managers? Because yeah, man, like DJs now.
Right, because
are-
the thing is, now you're talking about money, and we're gonna go there. When you start DJing, you know, there's kids that say, I mean, I've seen it at like all ages where they go, I don't care, I don't want to get paid, I just want to play.
Yeah.
You know, and then there's the kids that get paid $150 because they already feel, I'm doing
Yeah.
something, I'm bringing some people, whatever. There's the DJs that get paid $500 a night. You know, they're great, they're consistent, whatever. The $1,000 DJs, whatever. At the club level, we know there's different sizes,
Yeah.
different types of
Payments.
payments. At the big level, I mean, you see, that business a little more. What can somebody dream of? If they were gonna be a name
Yeah.
at one point.
is to have your entourage, like you dream of it, like having an agent, a manager, and
You're like a celebrity, like, right? Like,
yeah, but it's
Right,
not.
but
It's not only.
money-wise,
it's
what is a target? Like,
No, but he's saying like an entourage, like as far as like for a DJ to get to that level, you
Uh-huh.
need.
It's
you're
not
saying
because
a
of the, it's
manager?
not because of the money. It's because it's if you are doing whatever in life
Mhm.
and you like to, let's say, paint cars, but you also have to, clean them.
Mhm.
You're gonna do both things halfway.
Okay.
So if you're a DJ and you need to go onto your social medias,
Exactly.
do the flyer design, do this, do that, and you don't have the people helping you to do that, you're
Mhm.
not gonna be great at what you actually have to be great.
Right.
Exactly.
So you need a big team.
You need a
So you
team.
need a team.
You need that person that is gonna handle contracts, advancing the shows. You need the agent. You need the manager that is gonna receive the calls.
I think what
It's
Jay
like
wanted to know though is
Dude, it's
kinda
how
the
much money do they make?
No,
Those
no.
people.
How much do they make a need, I guess, to pay the entourage.
Yeah, in a way, to pay entourage is up to you, you know, because it all depends how
Let's
much
say,
you're good with.
So there are DJs for nowadays
That are charging 25,000.
There are DJs
Plus.
that are known, but they charge, let's say, from the techno scene, we could say $3,000 to $5,000 per show, and they
Okay.
do 3 shows on a weekend.
Okay. So they're making nice $12,000, let's
So
say.
then from those, at the end are how much? 48 a month. And from that, the manager gets the 15% or 10 or 20.
What if you're in the top 10 DJ list?
Yeah.
A-listers.
I believe their percentage comes down because there are DJs that charge $1 million sometimes.
$1 million to DJ?
Like in a Vegas residency, it could be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm telling you,
That
the numbers
is
are
great
huge.
to make.
That's why you only see.
Playing
That's why you only
other
see the
people's
big.
No, we're
music.
talking
big names.
Calvin Harris.
Yeah, and
Right.
you're talking about not
Markem
only
In.
DJs. At this point, they're DJ producers. Like
superstars.
everything that they're playing is
Well, the
practically
ones that are getting
theirs.
3,000 also are DJ producers,
Yeah.
just not as well known or.
There are
you know,
different genres.
That's also another thing. What's, for example, you know, mentioning Live here in Miami, which is one of the biggest names worldwide, and every time that there's any big DJ in Miami, they come to 2 places: Live and Story, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I understand that they have deals with with them that's the only place they play or whatever, exclusivity kind of deals or whatnot. And those are usually the the A-listers, the top 10. In maybe 2 genres, I understand, which is the mainstream house music that's commercial, which is more live, and then you have what Story plays, which is a little more underground.
They stopped doing that.
Okay.
Because he was not making, I guess.
So underground, I understand underground does not make as much money because it's something good to know. Like if you're gonna get into it, there's one way to go, which is this is the music I love and this is what I'm gonna mix, and I don't care what you guys say. I'm a bachata fucking DJ and this is what I'll do.
And I'll
Now,
do. And there's also a difference when it comes to underground and
right.
commercial.
But then you can also go on the other side and say, okay, so I want to be a DJ and I love music and I love mixing and I love the crowd, but okay, so this is a genre that makes money and actually would be best to go into.
It depends on what you think
yeah.
money is worth,
Yeah.
because underground is not underground like we say anymore, because everything is in your hands with the internet.
Right.
So when we say underground, we're
Underground
talking
doesn't
about
exist, yeah.
techno, this type of DJs that it's not that they're not making money. There are DJs they could go from 5,000 to 15,000 per show.
Right.
So
Well, you have
so
hip-hop
underground is
and
not
you
even
have
underground.
Latin.
I mean, underground doesn't exist. It's more like experimental now.
Yeah,
Right.
kind of
Yeah.
something that came from the roots of the
You have
house.
Look, you have DJs like Irie in Miami, hip hop music,
Yeah, he's
R&B
big.
and all this huge, names.
Yep.
He being the Miami Heat DJ for a while and all those kinds of things. Who gets paid well?
Yeah,
I'm saying.
for sure. I don't know.
And they have
Maybe
an
not as
entourage.
big. Maybe not as big as
Yeah.
No.
those big names that we mentioned, but yes, as big as
They're-
the mid,
they're good.
mid level.
Yeah, yeah.
Then you have, for example, the Alex Sensations DJs, and for the
Oh.
Latin crowd who get paid at least $5,000.
It's kind of
you
the
know, and
same kind of DJ, but one is Latin and the other one is.
By the way, something
Right.
very interesting, and you mentioned Alex Sensation. Like another situation that's happening is almost, how they go from promoter to DJs. Now they're going from DJs
radio
to,
DJs
from radio DJs to celebrities.
Oh yeah.
Because now Alex Sensation.
Well, because
is
you
a
do the
reggaeton
whole.
artist.
Because you do the whole. Okay, so now I'm on Instagram. I am producing music. I'm also as a musician because I'm doing, a song.
Exactly. I have a good ear, and I know how to
Right.
make good music and how to play well.
And they know how to do their social media well. They're influencers.
Question: he mentioned Live, he mentioned Story. Do you go to those clubs when there's a good DJ? And when you go, do you go dance or do you go listen?
I've never been like a super party kind of guy.
Okay.
I just focus
Only
on-
when he was 16.
Yeah,
Yeah, only when he was Marquito.
I focus on the music.
So you focus on the
So
music.
when I go
Mhm.
I don't like to go to those places, not because they're bad. I just don't like the environment of the VIP type of club.
Claro.
So
Very crowded. It's just another
yeah,
world.
so I just go when I have a friend that is playing or something like that. I go with them in the booth or something.
And you go listen. You
Yeah.
go. You
Yeah.
still. you still kind of like are putting yourself in a place where you're still learning.
Yeah.
Right.
Because there's still always room.
Markem, if you had to give our listeners just one tip,
Yep.
one tip that, you know,
Give it to them.
to anybody that wants to become a DJ
Or a promoter.
or, you know, get into the industry in general, whatever you feel more comfortable giving a tip about,
Okay.
what would that be?
If you're gonna become a DJ, like everyone could be a DJ nowadays, so try to focus on the music. Become a music producer first. If you make good tracks, you're gonna become a DJ after.
Wow. So now it's kind of like
So
the other
backwards.
way around.
Because you're not gonna fight against, you know, all the people that wants to DJ because they just want to do it, but you're gonna get hired because of the music that you're making.
Awesome. Hey, do we go into the Nightfather?
I mean,
Marquito's not Marquito anymore. He's
right. I mean, he
Markem.
started as a kid, you know.
Markem.
Yeah, because at the end of every show, we do a little segment called The Night Father.
Yeah.
And we talk a little
About
bit
our
about
kids.
that. Although you're not a parent, are you?
No,
Not that you know.
Yeah.
Even though you've been around, you know.
So in the future, you know, these DJs, these well-known DJs, there's a lot of them that are dads.
Yeah.
Is that in your equation? Is that something you're even entertaining? Like, how do you feel? Is it something that you feel like, oh man, when I have my kid, my kid is gonna be that 11-year-old who's gonna be DJing
Just if he wants to.
just if he wants
Yeah.
to.
At the moment, I would love to have a kid, but I'm still trying to build what I want to have.
Okay.
So I think I'm not there yet, even though I love kids.
Awesome.
But
Now we know we'll drop them off and
Yeah, we got 7.
yeah, we have 7
So
kids.
we're doing
between
good.
both of us. So
I'm keeping one for you right now. as a
yeah,
matter of
so
fact.
you know, you might get a call one day like, hey, Markem, you don't mind just taking care of, you know, one
Hey,
of our.
where can people listen to your music?
Yeah.
okay, you could go on Spotify, SoundCloud.
Spotify,
just searching
SoundCloud.
for
Markem, Markem.
Hey, and we've been
Like
listening
that.
to some music before we
Yeah,
started,
amazing.
and it's good.
Amazing.
It had us dancing. You know, we didn't play it right now because we wouldn't have been able to sit through this interview. We would have been dancing
Cheers.
ourselves away.
For the
Cheers.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It was
Thank
great,
you,
man.
Markem.
Remember,
Man.
LMG Miami on
Yes.
Instagram, The Nightlife Entrepreneur.
Ico Taps Beer and the Doral Food and Wine Festival.
Market Music and every social
Hey,
media.
as for Cusqueña, when you go to
iTunes,
Instagram.
Spotify, Podomatic, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram. Nightlife Entrepreneurs, nightlifeentrepreneurs.com/podcast.
you know,
There you go. See you next
follow
week.
us, like us. We love you.